crore for retailers. Earlier, 3.5 lakh crore trade was reported during this year's Deepavali. The data was shared by the traders' body, Confederation of India Traders, and according to that, the purchase of Indian products also cost Chinese goods a trade loss of more than 1 lakh crore rupees. Now, with the conclusion of Dhanteras, Deepavali and Bhai Dooj, the festive season in Bharat more or less over. Inputs gathered from industry executives suggest that the festive season closed on a sound note, with sales comfortably surpassing last year's numbers. Smartphones were a clear winner, with huge consumer demand for the premium range of phones. Meanwhile, Bharat is set to emerge as the second largest producer of solar modules by 2025, surpassing Southeast Asia, and is expected to cater mainly to US demand. There is speculation that to support the export ambitions, Bharat might actually lower duty on Chinese modules, which currently got a 40% tax. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that's happening on and all around us. But let's set up debate number one. And the story comes from the national capital and the government of Delhi, which has got a demand from the courts saying if you don't move the rapid rail transit system and move on it and release funds for the same, we may look at a stricture on your ad spends.
रैपिड रेल के लिए आप पैसे नहीं देते हैं तो आपका जो विज्ञापन का पैसा उसको सीज किया जाएगा और उसको रैपिड रेल के लिए ट्रांसफर किया जाएगा। इतनी कड़ी टिप्पणी के बाद अगर कोई नैतिक रूप से चल रही सरकार होगी तो उसको अपने ऊपर शर्म आएगी।
So the top of our country issuing a warning to the Delhi government led by Arvind Kejriwal for breach of undertaking given to it to provide funds for the regional rapid transport system. Now, the top court has directed the Aam Aadmi Party government to transfer funds for advertising to the project if they are claiming they don't have enough. So they said, we will try and pass a stricture if you don't make the funds available. Now, isn't this a big rap on the knuckles, ladies and gentlemen? In an application, the National Capital Regional Transport Corporation, the Apex Court had directed the Delhi government to contribute to the Delhi Meerut RRTS project 500 crore rupees within 10 days. However, there is still a balance amount of 415 crore left. Now, in the application filed by the National Capital Regional Transport Corporation, it is said that in spite of a delay of 6 months since the order dated April 21, 2023 was passed by the Apex Court, the Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi has released only 80 crore against the due amount. The BJP going on guns blazing, calling the court's warning to the AAP shameful. The real question here is the hubris coming undone. Now let's try and take a look at the scathing observations made by the Apex Court. Observation number one, the government specifically mentioned balance of 415 crore is payable by the Aam Aadmi Party. Observation two, is a gross breach of assurances given by the Delhi government. Observation 3, national projects are being affected with money spent on advertisement. We will stay and attach advertising budget if you don't fork up the cost of the cash. Order to be kept in abeyance for a period of 1 week. You have 7 days. If funds not transferred, order will to operation. That means there'll be a freeze on the ad spends of the Delhi government, and that money will be diverted to make available for this project, RRTS project. Now let's have a look at the timeline of events. This is not a recent phenomenon. Since March 2019, that first time the SC Supreme Court directed the government, Delhi government, to contribute 265 crore from ECC fund within 10 days. Then on the 6th of March again, the top court noted the centre's contribution for Delhi Meerut RRTS project, and April 21st, 2023, the Supreme Court directed AAP to contribute 500 crore from ECC. And then finally, what happens? In July 2023, Delhi government claims lack of funds for RRTS project. Supreme Court called for all the ad spend details. Where's your marketing budget? Give us details of that. Delhi government agreeing to make budgetary provisions to share funds for RRTS project. Then on 24th July, Abhishek Manu Singh on behalf of AAP assured that funds would be made available. And then November 2021, so April to November, nothing's happened. The Supreme Court now pulled up the Delhi government and asked them to transfer 415 crore rupees. So the question mark, once again, all the hubris, this whole aspect of we are doing everything for the people of Delhi and we are contributing. Meanwhile, says it's the center that's blocking because GST dues, revenue due has not yet come back. We'll come to that in just a bit. But the bigger question is this hubris coming undone?
Hello, Moto.
Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, and Manaswi Thapar, lawyer and political analyst, also join us on this story. Shazia Almi and Manaswi, namaste. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind. My first question, Shazia Almi, has the centre not given in what is due to the Delhi government? If they don't have funds, they don't have funds.
You know what the Aam Aadmi Party's favourite excuse is? That they're not being allowed to work. Now, since these people know only how to agitate and get to a situation of confrontation and know little about administration and also want to know very little, this is what we are suffering from. And all of Delhi is getting choked in this bizarre situation, in the toxic fumes. All, the shamelessness and the ineffectiveness of this party called Aam Aadmi Party, which sought to change things, is such that they would not either take responsibility but indulge in only blame game, and neither will they admit that they can't do anything about it. They don't want to because there is no will. And this is exactly what Supreme Court has said today. And the easiest thing to do, Anand, is to muddy the waters. Say center nahi kar rahi hai, center nahi kar rahi hai, ye kar raha, wo nahi kar raha. But there is specific jurisdiction of every agency, of every state government, of different departments, of CPCC, DPCC, Punjab Pollution Control Board. It's very specific and very clear. So to say that the areas overlap is to run away from responsibility, obfuscate and lie. The truth of the matter is, it's very clear. So when people ask me sometimes, well, this is what they've spread, this cannot, centers not doing anything. They must answer for themselves. What is the Environment Minister of Punjab and Delhi doing? What are the various CMs doing? How are they preventing the stubble farming that is going on there for the
But
fires?
this is not just Parali, Shazia Almi. Parali also. Parali. One minute. Parali, there was an adverse note on the Parali issue or the stubble burning issue also by the Supreme Court saying don't blame the farmers, etc. and from Haryana. But what we are discussing is the rapid rail transit system. What we are discussing is the RRTS.
Yes. Do you know Manish Sisodia?
Where they said the advertising budget
we went to Finland and Sweden to discuss buses and forget about getting more buses for DTC. They actually reduced that. And thanks to Metro, which is again a joint partnership between the centre and state that is actually running. But even there, they created so many hurdles. So the interest is not at all administration, and I don't think it's lack of political will. It's simply either no interest or complete utter uselessness because they have just not looked at it. And 8-9 years of just blaming the other party, everyone else taking responsibility and doing good by Delhi citizens. Some things are beyond politics.
It's about the people. It's for the people. Fact of the matter is one thing one must note, Manaswi Thapar, is that it was not the AAP that went back after April 2023 to the Supreme Court to say, listen, I cannot honor my commitment or my promise because I'm not being given the money. If that was the real case, then you should have, when I say you, the Aam Aadmi Party should have been the one going back to the Supreme Court saying, sorry, I cannot honor my commitment because I don't have money. That's not been the case here. Please.
Good evening. And for a minute, I was confused that we are discussing Parali or we are discussing pollution or something like that because I was told that we are supposed to discuss RRTS. Somehow coming back to the topic of RRTS, I think it's a joint effort of all the three governments. When I say three governments, basically to tell our viewers, joint efforts of Uttar Pradesh government, the central government, and the Delhi government, and with the order of the Supreme Court, which is very specific, and it's definitely
make another jalebi. Convenient.
Okay, let him. He didn't interrupt you. शाहजिया जी, see, आप दोनों ही हैं. मैं भी बंद कर देता हूँ बोलना. आप दोनों ही just let one complete and the other respond.
This is pathetic.
Please.
To just hear this, this.
Okay, please, Shahaziya ji, please yield. You had your time. Let him speak, and then you please respond. Yeah,
sure.
Thank you. You can count. Yes, Manasvi, please complete.
I didn't want to interfere her, and I didn't wanted to make any jokes out of it, because I wanted to talk on the factual point of it. The factual point, definitely with the Supreme Court's order, and I would not say order, it's on the right track for the development of this nation. And when the Supreme Court is saying it, I am very happy, and I am very proud that things are happening in a proper way in this country. And very soon, the Supreme Court has given 7 days time to the Aam Aadmi Party government to give that money, and I think they would be in their all propriety to make sure that the money is going to come from whatever allocation they are going to do that, and it goes to the government of India, so that the RRTS project, which is working on a timeline, is moving forward. I don't think that will not happen. We have to trust the government. It's very easy to come unprepared and blame the government for Parali while this is not the case. We have to discuss on the RRTS project, and I would, if I would go on asking Shahaziya ji, what is the component of UP government's percentage in this allocation? I would not want to.
But why would you do that? No, why would you do that? Why won't you take responsibility? If you've chosen to be the Aam Aadmi Party spokespersons today, you should be able to answer the question where Supreme Court has said that you had a budget of 1,110 crores for 3 years. You are an spokesperson today, so our people will ask you, right? 1,100 crores allocated for advertisements.
What is the allocation of the government?
Advertisements. 1,100 crores. 1,100 crores. Manasvi, hear yourself. Feel embarrassed for the fact that you're even representing this party right now.
No. This
very shameful.
Okay, allow me to please intervene. One second. But the point is, be it the case of stubble. Right now we are discussing RRTS, so I'm going to stick to RRTS. We'll come back to RRTS. 1100 crores. 1 minute. 1100 crores is the advertising budget for the top court to turn around and tell the government.
Can you imagine?
Not just Wada Khilafi. That means someone like Abhishek Manu Singhvi has assured on behalf of the AAP government in April, and April का November हो गया, आपने कोई commitment का भूल गए. So that is one. The second part is that it's not the AAP government which went back to the Supreme Court to say, listen, I cannot do this for you because I have not got money. That's not the case. Third, your allocation of 1100 crores for advertisements has been cited, and the Supreme Court has taken cognizance saying, वहाँ से पैसा निकाल ना डालेंगे because this is more important than your ads. That's a very adverse statement. No, that's a very adverse statement.
I will not speak after this.
100%. There is no.
We have another 7 minutes on the debate. Allow Manasvi to speak, and then I'll come back to Shahaziya ji for your next point.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Please. Thank you.
Shahaziya ji is speaking on my behalf also and not letting me. So, Anand, I don't think there is any doubt on what Supreme Court said. I think whatever questions you have raised, these are very, very valid and vital questions. Now, my question, what comes to my mind is 1 week's time has been given. Let Aam Aadmi Party perform and give the amount of 400 plus crores to the government. If they fail, they definitely fail at everything. There is no two ways about it.
But the fact is that this is something, Manasvi, I agree, 7 days में नहीं दिया तो then सब में fail. But the March 2019 से ये मसला चल रहा है. तब से पैसा रिलीज करो, पैसा रिलीज, हर बार कोर्ट पे जाना पड़ रहा है पैसा रिलीज करने के लिए. एड बजट में तो पैसा रिलीज करने के लिए कोर्ट में नहीं जाना पड़ रहा है. That's the observation. Yes, Shahaziya ji.
Something very small, and I'm not saying this. I'm just quoting what the Supreme Court is saying today. The advertising funds is 1100 crores for the last 3 years, rupees 550 crores for this year. We would have been inclined to transfer those funds. However, last day, Dr. Singhvi has assured that the funds would be made available. When was the last hearing?
April 2023.
Not exactly, and not just that. This has been said. It's a matter of great shame. I know. I don't know, Manasvi. You have courage to come and defend Aam Aadmi Party today. Full marks to you for this bravery and this bravado, rather, I should say. We will to stay and attach your advertising budget if you do not give funds for the RRTS project. My dear friend, please, this is RRTS discussing. When you talk about pollution, you look at everything. You look at vehicular pollution, you look at all the contributing factors, including stubble burning. This is what we are going through. You live in Bombay, but I'm sure you know what people are going through in Delhi. We have family members who are suffering. So please understand, I mean, this is, to even defend it, this is not even said by BJP or Congress party right now. It is coming straight from the court. And for 9 years, we've had the same discussion.
See,
I know I've had this discussion now for 9 years, sitting right here.
See, one of the two things which actually gave the Aam Aadmi Party a lot of currency with the people of Delhi. When I say political currency with the people of Delhi, were promises on Parali and promises on easing the traffic and congestion and connectivity between Delhi and the neighboring regions. Now, these are two things which are, integral to these two issues, both pollution and the RRTS project. In the case of the RRTS project, the fact is, it's not a recent thing. Even the last time around, for release of money from the Delhi government, the NRTC had to go back to the court. In March 2019, they had to go to the court to get 265 crore released. Then again, they had to go to the court to get the next installment released. All this while, the ad budgets have only ballooned. That's something which the Supreme Court has taken notice.
And Anand, they beat up chief secretaries for release of their funds. Can you imagine? A former chief secretary, and there is an order to effect. They beat him up at midnight. To Prakash, who was a former Delhi chief secretary, because he would not release funds.
My thing is, see,
look at this government and look at the audacity and the utter ineffectiveness of it all, and what is translating to becoming a big nightmare. I'm shocked. You know, my car is barely 5 years old. It's a diesel car. They're 20,000 rupee challan if you run it. Why? Because this is the great solution Kejriwal has come up with. Imagine
the
point is, everybody. I mean, this.
My point is Delhi to Meerut on the highway is 40 minutes. If my car is a BS4 vehicle, I can't ride it. So I can't use the highway. Had there been an RRTS, at least we would have looked at the option of an RRTS. That's another example. Yes, Manaswi, please. Yeah.
See, the Supreme Court verdict is very much out, and Supreme Court has also been, with its all wisdom, have given 1 week time to the government. So why this hurry? I totally understand the hurry and the importance of RRTS project. There is no doubt about it. But being understanding of it, and we also have to understand the order in totality. Had it been the case the Supreme Court has not given the order of 7 days, we would have been jumping on the guns. Let us wait. The money is going to come. I'm very sure about it. With this kind of an order and this kind of debate happening, I don't think any political party or government of any state is going to withhold any kind of money there. We know the relationship between Aam Aadmi Party, or for that matter any opposition party in government with the centre, the kind of trouble they are having, and there is a kind of federal structure performing well with the parties. But having said that, this is a national project. This is a project of national importance and commutation for people of NCR region. It's very important, and Aam Aadmi Party, in its full wisdom, will make sure that
that's exactly see, centre and state, BJP can have their political fights. This is exactly where the Aam Aadmi Party has been flagged by the apex court, saying you have not even lived your commitment. 1. 2, you have reneged on your promise that you made to us. 3, it is on the word of a top advocate or jurist. Now, the fourth point is, the AAP did not go back to the court to say, my funds are being blocked. It was presented as an excuse when they were pulled up. It's like जब टीचर डांट लगाते तो आप कोई ना कोई एक्सक्यूज लेके आते हो, कुछ भी जो टॉप ऑफ द हेड आ जाता है. That's not convincing because you see through that. And in this case, you've been seen through that. I'm just saying, 7 days later, we'll talk again and we'll see if AAP forks up this money. Because then the question will be, if they could fork it up in 7 days, ultimatum by the apex court, why didn't they fork it up all along? Thank you, Manaswi and Shahjaji. Thank you. We'll come back again to this. Have to move on quickly here on the right stand to debate, and we'll carry that forward from our Monday edition, ladies and gentlemen. The controversy over the ban on halal certification, halal certified products continues in Uttar Pradesh. The Food Safety and Drug Administration team expected to conduct more on additional retail stores across different cities in the state. And the objective is to ensure that retail outlets comply with the government's order prohibiting those stated those halal products, halal certified products which are not part of the government's exempt list. The ban has faced criticism from opposition parties, including the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, who continue their political attacks at the Yogi government. But the more compelling issue at hand is the money spent on certification, the entire racket behind the halal stamp. Now, is it time for a nationwide ban and for the world to wake up to what looks like a $2 trillion earning certification racket across the world? Let's understand the economics and the mathematics around it. Here is the revenue generated by halal bodies on certification. These numbers will shock you, ladies and gentlemen. Worldwide revenue is just over $2 trillion. $2 trillion and expected to touch $3 trillion by 2030. In Bharat, the revenue is close to $100 billion and it's growing rapidly. According to IMARC, the growth rate of the halal food market is projected at 12.5% between 2023 and 2028. Now let's take a look at the products that are halal certified in the market, and then you tell me, is this halal certification really required? Because we understand halal is largely driven by meat consumption and it is supposed to be meat for a particular community consumed because that's how it's mandated in Islam. And it started with butcheries in the United Kingdom. But look at the products. Namkeen, like aloo bhujia, chips, masala peanuts, they have got halal certification. Dry fruit brands have halal certification. Dates, kaju, kishmish, almonds, etc. And this list is long. Sweets, mithai, chocolates, cosmetics, grains, oil brands, तेल पे halal certification है. Soap, sabun pe, shampoos, toothpaste, shahad, honey has halal certification. And now in Kerala, there are advertisements out for Sharia compliant and halal certified apartments. Cement halal certified, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how this racket is extended. Anila Singh of the BJP with us. Mohammad Tariq, Samajwadi Party with us. Vishnu Shankar Jain, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court with us. Let's go straight across to the lawyer in the mix and ask Vishnu Shankar Jain. Vishnu Shankar Jain, if one community is mandated to eat meat in one particular form, should five-star hotels serve only that meat? Is that not a violation of the beliefs of the remaining people, all the entire non-Muslim fraternity?
Yeah, absolutely right, Anand, and that's the point, that this entire compulsory certification by somebody who is not authorized by the government and by way of regulations of 2011 to give certification itself is very, very unconstitutional. Now, let's give you an example. If I'm going on Indigo flight, the food which is served on the flight is halal food. Whether I have an option to have a second choice, there is no option. If you go to Starbucks, if you go to KFC, if you go to any multinational brand, if you go to any food court which is there in any of the malls, all the foods are halal certified foods. And I, as a Hindu, why should I be forced to eat halal food? And at the same point of time, it is in violation of Article 25 of the Constitution of India. It is in violation of Article 21. It is in violation of Section 295A of the IPC. And therefore, and let me tell you, this entire case, and I'm telling it with lot of sense of responsibility, this entire certificate is given by whom? Jamiat-ul-Hind of Maharashtra as well as Jamiat-ul-Hind national body. And this entire money is used for legal funding of places like Kashi, Mathura and Ram Mandir. Ram Mandir case was contested and defended by Jamiat-ul-Hind. And so it is, and let me tell you, the UP government is also investigating into the terror funding about this entire issue, and the STF is being constituted to see whether this money is used for terror funding. But the point is this, the whole question remains, why should the majority community be forced to consume halal food, and why there are no other options?
No, not that. Halal certification is supposed to be for meat. That's the common perception.
Yes.
Mohammad Tariq Khan, let me ask you, sir, क्या आलू के चिप्स खाने के लिए भी halal certification चाहिए होती है? तेल, काजू, किशमिश पे भी halal certification होना चाहिए?
Are you getting me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you're audible, Mohammad Tariq Khan, but your video is, you're in a poor bandwidth area, but go ahead, please. We'll try and sort that out.
there is a problem in this issue. Let the scenario means two agencies, they are fighting with each other. There is nothing to do with somebody else. One agency, FSDA, that is Uttar Pradesh state, and NABCB, that is the authority which is giving these things authorized to issue certificates. Issue certificates. Now, what they are doing, what Jamiyat-e-Ulama Trust, Halal Council, what they are doing, they are issuing certificate. And there is one more thing is important. Companies are also coming there. What Vishnu sir Saab is saying, he is a good advocate. That's why people are forced to. You are not forced to. Anybody is not forced to eat halal and these types of things. You have full right to do whatever you want and right to eat whatever you want.
No, but if you are only being served that, then how isn't your right being violated? And who's the Jamiyat? What right do they have to certify? Have they been authorized by anybody to certify?
Right. Jamiyat not themselves have started this thing. The International Halal Accreditation Forum has authorized Jamiyat to do all this.
No, but
no legal
who has
validity.
authorized
No
Jamiyat
legal
in Bharat,
validity.
sir? Who has authorized Jamiyat in Bharat? One. Secondly, sir, as far as the FSSAI norms, stunning of an animal before halal is mandatory. So, if an animal before being slaughtered is mandatory. So, if an animal is stunned, then how can there be halal? Either the animal is not stunned. If the animal is not being stunned, then the stipulated guidelines are being violated. ये तो इधर भी से भी धोखा है, उधर से भी धोखा है.
What I am saying,
And Anand, take a case about the Sikh community. They have Rahat Maryada. They want to have Jhatka food. Is there any certification of Jhatka in this country? The point is this, that all these things are governed by regulations of 2011. The Jamiyat Ulama Hind or the Halal certification body which is being functioning in this country have no legal sanctity to give these certificates. And let me tell you, they charge 25,000, 1 lakh and number of amount for these kind of certifications. Patanjali is also taken halal certified foods. Can you imagine? Patanjali products, certain products of Patanjali are halal certified, which has no bearing or no connection with halal.
But in this case, are you going to then go after and are you going to question violation and trampling on the basic rights of a large section of people with five-star hotels, with these manufacturers, Anila Singh?
Yes.
Or are you only to go after Jamiyat for this halal certification for this? They have no mandate or right legally in our country. Anila Singh.
Both.
My Ram to all. And Anand, definitely it is a big racket, and Yogi Adityanath ji as a UP Chief Minister has taken a bold step. He has declared that no more this illegal dhanda in UP. And such institutions which are certifying the products as a halal products, all the business will be stopped immediately with immediate
No, but
effect.
what about those institutions and those entities who have paid for this certification and are pushing halal certified potato chips to the consumer, who are saying that we will serve only halal meat in five-star hotels? Are you going to go after them? They also paid these people crores of money, na?
See, till date we heard about halal meat. We never heard about halal lipstick, halal perfume, halal shampoo, halal.
But it's all there in the market, so these people paid for this certification.
This is what is happening. This is a huge trap, and the manufacturers, they get trapped. We know it well. There are Islamic countries where these products are being
No, but that's for export, ma'am. That's for export. Export is exempt under the UP current directive by the Yogi government. I'm asking domestic consumption. Are you going to go and question these manufacturers because they didn't take the Jamiyat to court? They have actually tried to fool the rest of the population. They have trampled on the rights of the rest of the population. Hindus who eat meat, why should they eat halal meat? And why are they being forced or saying we serve only this in the hotel? Khana hai to khao, nahi to khao.
You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. And as Vishnu ji also mentioned that if we talk about the Sikh community, they can consume jhatka meat. But if they go to certain 5 stars or these multinational chains and all, they serve halal food. So when we talk about parity in our country on the basis of constitution, what parity is this?
No, but
and the moment Yogi Adityanath ji has declared
my other question, Anila Singh ji, is that the government. Jahanji, please complete.
So they have come out with the victim card placard, and the political parties like Samajwadi Party and Congress, they are advocating for their cause. Now again, as Vishnuji mentioned, that definitely UP government, UP police, especially if I talk about STF and all, they are investigating that where this money goes, because these are not legal entities which are certifying the product.
Well, Anila Singh ji, 2-3 points, ma'am. What came into fruition in 2011 was effective till 2016 as per the government order that even APEDA, it mandated halal and halal at slaughterhouses. 2016 तक किसी सरकार में पता नहीं था, despite change in the government in the center. Second point, that until 2018-2019, the Jamiyat Ulema-e-Hind had advertised how much it was collecting for each certification and where it was spending the money, including terror cases like the German bakery blast. Now they have taken it off their website. But till then, nobody had asked these questions of the Jamiyat Ulema-e-Hind, including 4 years of the Yogi Sarkar. Now 7 years.
बिल्कुल पूछना चाहिए, बिल्कुल करना चाहिए, but if you think that the moment Bharatiya Janata Party government forms the government, whether I talk about center or the state, they should immediately start taking actions on everything which was happening illegally or which is happening illegally. Practically, it is not possible. But the reality is, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party government which takes such steps, because we are not into appeasement politics. Yesterday, I was listening to Rashid Alvi ji. He's a senior leader from Congress Party, and he said, हमारी सरकार जब आएगी हमें बहुत सारी चीजों को तब्दील करना पड़ेगा. So it was a warning in very clear words to Hindu कि तुम लोगों के बहुत दिमाग खराब हो गए हैं और हमारी सरकार आ जाने दो, फिर से आपको आपकी औकात में रखा जाएगा. So it was a clear warning from the Congress Party, and the similar warning we are observing from the Samajwadi Party as well.
Ma'am, I'm asking you, ma'am, with respect, before Mohammad Tariq Khan comes, Patanjali making vegetarian products with halal certification. Potato chips, bhujia mein halal certification ho raha tha, kisi ko pata nahi tha. This is a huge racket across the country. Nobody asked a question. They all said, chalo, pay up the money. For a few lakhs of rupees, we'll pay this money. And they were circulating packets domestically. It was supposed to be for export into Islamic nations. But in Islamic nations, Malaysia ko bola palm oil nahi denge, to unhone halal certification mandatory nahi kiya, hata diya mandatory for imports from India, food products. So, were we even aware or did it even matter to us? Mohammad Tariq Khan, my point is, sir, if this was a racket, shouldn't it be controlled? Isn't halal supposed to be restricted largely towards meat? Please.
And that too, there should be an option of choice.
Okay, let him speak. Let him speak, and then Vishnu Shankar Jain, you can counter that, please. Yeah.
I completely disagree what have been said about Jamiyat Ulema-e-Hind. They have contribution in the freedom fight. Whatever they have done for the nation, everybody knows. They have made the government in Afghanistan in a year of 1920. What Jamiyat Ulema had done for the nation, everybody knows. So, leave it. What I'm going to ask a question to everybody on this panel. Give me answer if you have or anybody have. I'm saying that the industry of meat we have is around 1,000 crores. We are exporting to different nations. Suppose these Jamiyat Ulema, Halal Trust, Halal Council of India and Halal India Limited, all these companies has got banned in India, and they have gone to jail. And this International Halal Accreditation Forum just certified that will accept the halal certification of Jamiyat Ulema Halal Trust. Then what we will do? We'll go to jail and ask this organization.
No, sir.
To be
The FSSAI can mandate a regulated body under its aegis, under its jurisdiction, by within the ambits of the government of India, to then give entities the right to give halal certification, and the revenue that will accrue from that will go straight to the state exchequer and not go to private pockets who refuse to even pay GST for a service. Halal certification is a service, but not paying GST.
No, that's right. They are not paying.
How is it all right? Sir, 1,20,000 crore total. उस पे 18% 5% GST भी कितना पैसा होगा? 5% GST.
Government
वो GST देने तैयार नहीं है. कहते हैं क्योंकि हम गवर्नमेंट बॉडी.
You just visit the site of Halal Council of India. It has got registered 15 years back. What the government is doing till 2014?
Now shifting the goalpost. See, when I am answering your questions, you are shifting the goalpost. Yes, Vishnu Shankar Jain.
See, Anand, there are 2-3 issues here which are very, very crucial. The first of all, I want to challenge here the power to grant such certificates. According to me, there is no statute in this country which authorizes Jamaatul Hind to grant such certificate or issue such certificate. The second issue is about the compulsion of these certificates on the food industry. All the food industries and maximum of the food industries are falling in this trap of compulsorily taking certificates. And the third issue is about the issue of choice. And the fourth issue is that there is no other apart from choice. The fourth issue, which is very, very crucial, is that it has been compulsory and the advertisement is not very proper. If let me tell you, like I gave an example in Indigo flight, if I am going, there is a couple which is sitting next to me. He is saying that please serve me halal food, otherwise I won't. And the food is served, halal food is served to them, and the same food is served to me without telling me that this is a halal food. So how as a Jain or as a Hindu, how can you force me to have halal food?
No, because the point is that the Jains, Hindus, Sikhs are not insisting on jhatka meat. They are not insisting on non-halal products. When that insistence happens, that's when the reaction will happen. Because till date it was just said, "Arey, meat kha lo." The fact is that the fact is, if it is halal, then that means it is being done based on the on tenets of a particular religion. It's Islamized meat. That is something that is something is an inference.
And it has gone meat. Anand, it has gone beyond meat. Vegetarian products halal, as you said. Apartments, building apartment. How can a
cement की बोरियों पर halal certification है sir.
Oil halal, potato chips halal, sweets are halal, and Patanjali products are halal, and we are forced to consume those products.
But the point is,
it violative of my right?
Correct, but who's asking this question, Vishnu Shankar Jain? Outside the courts of our country, where a lawyer has filed a petition in 2022, in which 5-star hotel are Hindus, Sikhs, or Muslims asking this question. Are Christians insisting on non-halal meat? Are Christians
now
saying
you will
this?
see very soon. Now you will see very soon.
Are anybody who's a non-Muslim consuming meat for whom halal is not mandatory? Are they looking at cosmetic brands, aloo chips, and seeing halal certificates? What is this? I'm not going to have this. It's against my belief. Nobody is saying in our country.
Mr. Ramesh, they had written a very nice book on this, and he was continuously fighting for this issue from past 5 years. We were also associating with him. Now you will see very soon, Anand, let me tell you, very soon this matter will be challenged in the court by various halal certification bodies.
Jamiyat has already said it's going to move court. Jamiyat has already said it's going to move.
Now the matter will be heard. But if we file a PIL and say that please ban these certificates, it may not be entertained, may be entertained, we don't know. But the point is, now I'm very happy that this will be scrutinized and this will be having a judicial review test, and let's see how this thing is justified in the courts of law.
But see, outside of the courts, is there a popular people's movement? That's what I'm saying. Are people turning around and saying, I'm aware and I'm not going to consume? If a Patanjali is giving me a certified biscuit, I'm not going to consume it. How many people are saying this, Anila Singh? And if I'm taking just as an example, I'm not saying these people are actually doing it, but I'm just saying as an example. If Haldiram tomorrow says that the aloo bhujia that you're eating is halal certified, anybody turning around and saying, why is this being served to me? Because it's against my belief. Is any non-Muslim standing up and saying this in Hindustan right now?
Anand, you explained in a very good way, in a very better way, in a very excellent way, that if we talk about Hindus or Sikhs or Jains or Bauds or any other people, non-Muslim people, they never insist. That is the main reason. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. De do, kuch bhi aa jao, kuch bhi khila do, kuch bhi pila do. You know, that attitude exists. That is why we have so many things. This nation was chopped on behalf of what? On the behalf of religion, dharam. And
no, but that's a different story. Coming back to this fact, did the UP government till date, they mandated anybody who's got the legal right to certify halal? Is there any body which is legally certified by the UP government to give halal certification in Uttar Pradesh?
No.
So how are they doing this all along?
They were doing it now. Now now the whole of the practice is being stopped.
Well, we'll have to watch how effectively it is stopped, and the moment somebody moves court, then this entire movement actually die down, or do other states actually follow across the country? That's the larger question. Will other states take cue? And more importantly, will consumers wake up and say, what's my right and what's being done? Is something being done that is against my faith? And if that's done, should I accept it, or should I allow that, or should I question it? We leave it at that. Thank you very much to our panelists. We're going to take a very short break. On the other side, it's been almost 45 days, actually 46 days, since the conflict began between Israel and Hamas. The mother now says, give me back my 2 daughters or take me. Mayan Zin takes the right stand when we come back.
Hello, Moto.
Co-powered by. So again, the team here have gone to enormous lengths to protect the people doing the rescue. So, and that's one of the reasons for the delay. It's not a delay because people aren't valuing life. It's a delay because people value life so much. And for me, that is just the most wonderful thing to be a part of, and to actually work with a team who are so passionate about getting these home.
So, sir, you beat us in the World Cup. Hopefully, we'll get some.
That wasn't
we'll
me.
work
That
as a
wasn't
team,
me.
and we'll
Yeah.
get some sort of victory over here.
Yeah. So I claim to be good at tunnels. I am the worst cricket player. Trust me, if we played cricket, you would thrash me. No problem at all. Tunnels, okay. No.
All the best, sir. Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll see them out very, very quickly, sir.
I'm looking forward to doing this interview with some smiling faces up here with us.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
So, as you heard there, yes, the confidence amongst the rescuers is increasing by every minute, because we have seen that finally that debris which was seeming to be impenetrable has finally been penetrated. The first visuals have come out. Food is constantly being supplied, and work from all the angles is now going on. So within the next few days, with the kind of confidence and the kind of confidence these rescuers have, we can expect that we can get those first visuals of these people coming out safely. The visuals that we have shared with our viewers right now, these visuals actually tell that how the people inside have are high on confidence, and finally they have access to people outside. A communication link has been established, visual link has been established, solid food has been given to them. Also from all the 5 ends, continuous work is going on to make that all these people are taken out safely.
And this is a CNN News 18 exclusive news break. CNN News 18 has been able to access the first visuals from inside the tunnel. Now this video is from late last night when the first camera was sent in. All the workers inside are safe, and this is something that is being established through the video that has been accessed by CNN News 18. This video is from inside the tunnel. The video is on your screens right now, and this is the latest video that we've able to access from inside the tunnel. And in the video it can be seen that all the trapped workers are safe, and this is what is being established by these visuals from inside the tunnel. Remember, even after so many days, the 41 workers are still trapped inside the tunnel. Rescue operations are underway, and now joining us on this story is Anshul Singh, who has been tracking all the updates and everything that has been unfolding in Uttar Kashi. Anshul, what is the latest detail as far as the rescue operation is concerned?
So finally some good news. After almost 9 days, we have seen that yesterday was the first time that the entire debris was penetrated through, and last night we also saw that endoscopic camera had finally gone inside the tunnel, post which we have got to access this entire video. Joining me right now, Dix, he is the expert who has now been roped in from Australia, and he's going to give us an exact picture of what is going on inside the tunnel, and also how the rescue operations are going. Sir, thank you so much for giving us your time. What is the exact operation that is going on, and when can we expect these people to come out? That is the question that the entire country is asking at this point, sir.
Yeah, I understand why everyone's asking that question. And look, what we've got multiple methods currently underway to get these men home. And what you've seen yesterday is a result of incredible amount of work from the team up there on the mountain. It's been 9 days, and it's been 9 days with a lot of careful planning, analysis to find out what's going on inside that mountain, and to make sure not only do we get those men out alive, but the rescuers are safe too. And when I arrived here, I said, those men are coming home. Those men will be coming home. We're not there yet. But yesterday, what we've achieved, getting that pipe through, and now the endoscope through, and better food through, and the whole world can see those men are alive. Now that's proven to us that we can get through that mass. You'll see different things happening today now that we've been able to prove that. We've got a project, of course, coming down from the top, project from the side, project from the back, multiple projects from the front. One of them is going to do it. One of them is going to be the way these men come home. And as I've said since I got here, they were dancing. They were dancing at Diwali when they went in, and they'll be home and able to sing Christmas carols as well. Exactly when, not sure, but it's going to happen. Okay?
Definitely, so the words that you say definitely instill a lot of confidence amongst the people as well, and the people who are waiting to see them outside. The vertical drilling process that is about to start, sir, how realistic is that? Is the vertical drilling possible through that mountain debris?
Of course, when I arrived here, that was one of the first questions I asked myself. You may have seen I climbed the mountain yesterday and went up and inspected the geology, and with the team of local experts, and I'm convinced that that's an excellent location. In fact, not only is it an excellent location, it came as a huge surprise to me, exactly over the tunnel, albeit up a mountain, but exactly over the crown of the tunnel is the most beautiful and solid piece of rock. It's almost like a gift, okay? And that piece is perfect for launching a rescue drive down, and I think that should be starting this morning, or if it's not this morning, this afternoon. So I'm confident with that. In fact,
Ms. Zin, thank you for speaking with me. My name is Anand, and I work with CNN News 18, and we are one of the largest channels and news networks here in Bharat, that is India. Few days ago, you had written a petition about your daughters, and that either return them to me or take me to Gaza. Can you tell us what happened and what made you write this petition?
המטרה הייתה להגיע לעזה ופשוט להחזיק את הבנות שלי בידיים שלי, לחבק אותם חזק ולהגיד להם שהכל יהיה בסדר, שאני פה איתם והכל יהיה בסוף בסדר.
My goal was, אולי אני אתרגם שנייה, my goal was to be taken to Gaza and reach my daughters and spend time with them, hug them and tell them that everything will be okay. Okay.
לא קרה כלום, אף אחד לא פנה אליי, אני עדיין מחכה.
Sadly, nothing came of it. No one reached out to me, and I'm still waiting.
אני מבינה שאזרחי העולם, וכל העולם כולו, לא רק במדינת ישראל, רוצים לשחרר את החטופים, ומוכנים לעשות הכל כדי לשחרר את כל החטופים. וכנראה שהבעיה זה המדינאים, קטר, צלב האדום, ארצות הברית.
She understands from this that the citizens of the world, not only in Israel but across the world, are supportive. They want justice and they want the hostages to be let free. The problem lies in the lack of activity of the UN, the Red Cross, United States, who aren't Qatar, who aren't doing enough to bring them home.
In fact, somewhere he said that it is for the IDF to stop the fighting, for the hostages to be returned. somewhere. Does she feel that, Israeli children, the hostages, there is a comparison with what's happening with the civilians and people in Gaza, children in Gaza? It's a fair comparison. And the other aspect is, why is no one asking the Hamas or the Palestinian government there to return the hostages? Does that rankle her? Does that worry her?
אין לי דעה על זה. אני לא אשת ביטחון ואני לא פוליטיקאית, אין לי שום ידע, שום שיקול דעת, פשוט לא אין לי.
She says that these are political questions where she doesn't have a view upon, and therefore she doesn't want to or need to respond to them. There are political leaders who meant to deal with it.
But as a mother, what does she feel? As a mother, what is her emotion when her children are gone and nobody is talking for her? That's what I said. That was her first reaction. I asked and nobody responded. But as a mother, how does she feel? Is this fair? What is happening?
לא הבנתי.
למה אין דרישה? למה בעצם, נראה לי הוא מתייחס לזה כשפנית, שנייה אחת אני אוודא שאני מבין את זה. You're referring to the fact that Maayan said that there are people responsible to returning her daughters of the Red Cross, UN, etc. Why? And you're asking why isn't that responsibility sent over to Hamas?
אני דורשת שיחזירו את הבנות שלי, שהבנות שלי הן ילדות קטנות, הן לא חיילות, הן לא שוטרות, הן לא מתעסקות בפוליטיקה, הן ילדות קטנות שהלכו לישון במיטה, והתעוררו בתוך ידיים של שטן. הן פשוט צריכות לחזור למקום שלהן.
So obviously my daughters are innocent young children who went to sleep one night calmly and woke up in the morning in the hands of the Satan, and obviously it is the responsibility of these horrible organizations to return my daughters immediately. That is stating the obvious.
ומה שהוא שאל לגבי העולם זה פשוט, זאת העבודה של הצלב האדום ושל האום, זאת העבודה שלהם. מתברר שיש אדם באום שהתפקיד שלו הוא ילדים באום. הוא לא עושה את התפקיד שלו 46 ימים. אתמול היה יום הבינלאומי לזכויות הילד. מה הם עשו? הם לא עשו כלום, זאת פשוט העבודה שלהם. זה לא שאני דורשת או לא, הם מקבלים משכורת. זה לא דרישה שלי, זה דרישה של הבוס שלהם.
So the focus on the UN is that there is a person within the UN whose responsibility is to evaluate how children are doing across the world, and the person who's responsible for it now simply isn't doing his job. For the 46 days, these children have been held hostage, and there has been nothing done from their side in able to make sure that they're healthy, receiving what they need, and hopefully brought home.
Doesn't that make her think that nobody is speaking up for the children that have been taken? It was not their fight?
ברור שכן.
Obviously, it makes her angry, of course.
What do you think is the solution for this from her as a mother? What do you think the world needs to do? Or the people who can influence or do something, what do you think they need to do?
אני חושבת שכל העולם היה צריך, לא יודעת כל העולם, אבל לפחות כמה מדינות, אני חושבת שהעולם היה צריך פשוט להתאחד, לעזור לנו, לתת כתף, להיכנס ביחד לעזה, להוציא את האנשים שלנו, ולטפל בעזה, כמו שהעולם חושב שצריך לטפל בעזה, אבל קודם כל, אזרחים ובטח שילדים קטנים, צריכים לצאת משם. זה מה שהעולם היה צריך לעשות, לעזור, כמו שישראל עוזרת לכל מדינה, אחרת, בעת משבר שלהם, הם צריכים לעזור לנו גם.
In the same way in which Israel always, whenever there's a humanitarian crisis, always comes to help other countries, the expectation was for the world to unite and get coming together, enter Gaza, make sure that all the citizens are pulled out safely and alive, and then after that deal with the other political issues. But making sure that the citizens come home safely was something which the world had to unite around and move quickly towards entering and bringing them back together.
ארגון החמאס זה לא ארגון סוציאלי, לא קשר עם זה לא ארגון רווחה, ארגון טרור, הם לא יצרו איתי קשר, לא.
Hamas as אולי אני אענה שנייה, Hamas are a terror organization. They're not social workers who would reach out. They're a pure terror organization, and obviously they did not reach out, and there's been no contact with me.
הם יצאו מהבית בלי נעליים, הימים יורדים גשמים, מטורפים, קר, אני לא יודעת מה הם אוכלות, אני לא יודעת מה הם שותות. אין לי שום אינסטינקט, פשוט אני מקווה מאוד שהם בחיים ואני מקווה שהם בטוב. אין שום דרך לדעת, אין שום דרך לנסות להבין מה קורה במוח שלהם, כי הם באמת לא ארגון סוציאלי, כאילו זה לא שהם יושבים וכאילו שאני איך לנסות להיכנס לראש שלהם.
She has no way of knowing, obviously, how they are. When they left their homes, they left with no shoes on. It's raining now, it's cold. She doesn't know where they are. She wearing shorts, t-shirts. She doesn't know what they have, where they are, what their situation is. And she can only hope that they are okay and managing to stay alive and happy in terrible circumstances.
יש מי שמחליט איך להעניש את החמאס. לא אני.
She explains that there are other people, government is responsible for deciding how to respond and punish Hamas for their actions. It isn't her responsibility. She's focused on thinking about small punishments to her daughters, on emptying the washing machine, who's going to do it, who's not going to do it. That is her focus, and she doesn't plan to she doesn't have what to say on that topic.
מה שאני רוצה לענות, לצערי לא מה שאני יכולה לענות. אני לא רוצה לדבר על זה, אני לא רוצה לדבר על האום, יהיה לי אחר כך. בגדול הם לא עושים את העבודה שלהם, הם פשוט לא מחזירים אזרחים תמימים הביתה, זה הכל.
She will say that the UN aren't doing their job, they're not bringing home innocent civilians, it's their responsibility.
אם רוצים להחזיר את החטופים, אני רוצה להגיד להם, לא הרבה, רק שיחזירו את הבנות.
Her request is simple. Whether it's the UN, Red Cross, all other organizations who are accountable for this, her demand is for her daughters to be returned safely.
I just hope that is. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ms. Zen. Thank you very much. Our prayers are with you and your daughters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Hello and welcome. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Anusha Soni. Now, we talked about about the story which is emerging after India's loss at the World Cup. You had the Prime Minister who met Team India after their loss to Australia in the Cricket World Cup final. And a video in which the Prime Minister warmly greets the players, making an attempt to boost their morale, has indeed gone viral. But the open vicious tirade of hate against the elected leader of the country is appalling on many counts. First, it makes no logical sense at all. Before the match, there were many who were busy making theories about how the Prime Minister